All right, let's go. I have a good show today, boy. I'm looking forward to this doubleheader today. This is the early show, and then later on, uh, we'll do a night show. So let's get this started. Uh, First question I have is who won the trade deadline? The Eagles, the Jets, the Cowboys, the Seahawks. And who lost the trade deadline? The Dolphins or the Colts? Well, I'm gonna do who won the trade deadline, and I had the Eagles all over it, getting the running back Michael White from the Jets, the cornerback Zaire Alexander, and uh, Zaire Alexander and the kid from the Jets, Williams. No, I got this all wrong. I apologize. My mind is not there at times, so let me do it again. At first, I thought the Eagles got Zaire Alexander, uh, Mike White from the Jets, and I forgot the third person they got. My bad. But with the Cowboys getting Williams from the Jets, the linebacker from the Bengals, and whichever is the higher pick between the Colts and their own. I mean, the Jets give up between the Colts and I forgot the other number one they have because they have three number ones now. The guy before the GM they have now, Joe Douglas, drafted that defense very well. He did a great job. The problem was he hired the coach that the owner didn't like. So he got rid of the coach, got rid of the owner. That's what you do when you don't like the head coach. Who brought him here? Oh, he did? He's gone. And I tell you, if I'm the Dolphins and uh, oh boy likes getting Jets uh, personnel. He had Tannenbaum a decade ago. Don't be surprised if you go and get Joe Douglas. The difference with Joe Douglas is uh, Stephen Ross is going to let him do what he wants because he's a former Jet. And he likes former Jets. What's up, that boy? He likes former Jets. I like what Seattle did, getting that wide receiver from the Saints. Now they have a real deep threat there. You know, that's good for Seattle. The team who I think lost was clearly the Dolphins and the Colts. I think they both lost together. Dolphins because they didn't get rid of dead weight, and I heard that the Broncos offered them a 3 and a 4 for Waddle. They wouldn't take it. That's been reported. So they wanted to keep the guys they got, and they're gonna sink. They're already drowning, so they're just gonna drown with the guys they got in Miami. I can tell you that right now. I don't see. Yes, it is. Quentin Williams to the Cowboys is huge. Cowboys getting the Bengal linebacker is huge. The problem with Dallas is, though, and this is a big problem, two things. The teams ahead of them, the Bears, Carolina is already beaten them. Eagles already beaten them. And I can tell you right now, and at 3-5-1, the Cowboys are 3 losses away, folks, from being eliminated. There's no team in the NFC is going to get in at 8-1. Cowboys got to go to Detroit right after they play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving Day. So the schedule is not going to be in Dallas' favor, folks. I hate to tell you that. Okay. For all you Cowboy fans or Cowboy media, ESPN, who think they're going to make a run, let's take a look at Dallas' schedule. Let's do that. Okay. I'm not going to say if they win or loss. What I'm going to tell you is how strong it is. That's what I'm going to tell you. Don't forget, week 15 in the N.F.L. is going to be a bonanza because you got 6 awesome games that day. 6. Maybe 7. You can say 7. 2 at 1 o'clock. Chargers at Chiefs. Bills at Patriots. And then at 4:30, we got 5 big games. And we'll go over it. But first, let me take a look at the Cowboys schedule. Let me do that for you. Take a look at Big D. All right, here we go. Dallas. Week 11. Because that's when they come back. They're off this week. The Raiders, they'll beat them on Monday Night Football. The Eagles. All right, here you go. I'm glad I brought this out. Eagles at home. Chiefs at home. At Detroit. Vikings at home. So the Cowboys will have 3 of the next 5 at home. Look at this. The Cowboys from Thanksgiving Day. Okay, Thanksgiving. No, excuse me. Week 12, which is the Sunday right before Thanksgiving. Dallas will have 1, 2, 3, 4 big games in a row, and then they go on the road. They'll win their 2 last. They'll win in Washington Christmas Day. They'll beat the Giants in Week 18. That's nothing. But look at this. From Week 12, you want to know where the Cowboys are going to stand? Here you go, folks. Home for the Eagles. Home for the Chiefs. At Detroit. Home for the Vikings. Home for the Chargers. 4 of their next 6 are at home. 4 out of their next 5 is in Dallas, but they're not playing against Little Sisters of the Poor, which the Cowboy media, ESPN, N.F.L. Network, Fox, they're playing against playoff contenders in Dallas. You want to know what the Cowboys are made of? You're going to find out in 2 weeks when Philadelphia comes in. Wow. So Fox is doing a doubleheader with let me take a look at week 12. Let me take a look at week 12. Let me go back here. Let me see if that boy is up here yet. If he's gonna pull up. No, he ain't gonna pull up. Let me do this for you folks. Where is it? Here you go. Let me do week 12 because I know Denver and Kansas City's early that day in week 12. All right, here we go. Let me click it on week 12. Poll will be up next week. Which game you want me to do next week? Lions, Eagles, or Broncos, Chiefs? You let me know. All right. Early that day on week 12, you have Steelers, Bears, Patriots, Bengals, Giants, Lions, please. All right. You got the Vikings and the Packers. You got the Colts and the Chiefs. That is early. Late, you got Eagles, Cowboys, Falcons, Saints. And then that night, you're going to have the Buccaneers and the Rams. I'm going to do a day night. In other words, I'm not doing the Cowboy game up here, but the whole country will see that game, except in New Orleans. And who else will the Saints play that day? Because the Falcons, Atlanta, like the Dirty South will not see the Cowboys and the Eagles. But that is a hell of a game. Because I'm doing Buccaneers Rams. That is huge. Buccaneers and the Rams. So I may not even do. Let me see who's playing. Giants and Lions is on Fox. Giants Lions on Fox. Where are the Jets that day? I know the Jets are now off week 12. They just had their bye. Oh yes, yes, God yes. So I'll be able to give you Colts Chiefs up here in 2 weeks and Buccaneers Rams at night. So I'm gonna have a day night doubleheader that night. And then the thumbnail will be I can tell you right now, it'll be Baker and Matthew Stafford in the thumbnail that weekend. So we got some good football coming up. Good football. Oh, let me tell you, week 15. Let me go there for you. Wow. Then I'll keep talking about the trades. Here we go. Week 15 is December. The 15th. No, it's not the 15th. December 14th. All right. Here we go. Early. Chargers, Chiefs, Bills, Patriots. Both at 1 o'clock. Then, this is all at 4:25. Packers, Broncos. Lions, Rams. Colts, Seahawks. All that weekend. And then the Vikings and Cowboys at night. And that could be the season for Dallas right there. Look at those games at 4:25. CBS will have the Colts and the Seahawks. Fox will have the Lions and Rams. And CBS will have the Packers and the Broncos. All at 4:25 that Sunday. That is a hell of a doubleheader. And because the Giants are off, thank the Lord, I'll be doing both Patriots and Chargers and Chiefs up here. Oh, the Giants are on at 1 o'clock. Okay, I don't care. I'm not going to do it. So I'll pick the game. I'll have all three games on. Broncos and Packers, Lions and Rams, and Colts and Seahawks. Those are all monster games that Sunday. And that is week 16 in N.F.L. Back to week 14, which is a great week. Oh, they got week 15. Packers and Bears, Steelers and Ravens, and then late. There's no good late game. My God, Bengals and Bills. Texans and Chiefs is the night game. I guess what they'll do is, let me see, look at the 4:25 game again. They will probably, if Burrow's back and Flacco can hang them in there, then they'll do that game. If not, who got the doubleheader? CBS? Oh, Fox got the doubleheader because they want to show Josh Allen. They will swap Bengals and Bills on Fox and probably put Bears and Packers at 4:30. That's what they'll do. Because these are some bad games, man. Jesus. Yeah. They'll put Packers and Bears at 4:25 and put the Bengals and the Bills early in the day. I love talking this stuff because I used to be like wrapped in it for years. So, you know what I'm saying? All right, let's get back to the winners and the losers. The losers are definitely the Dolphins and the Colts. I'll start with the Dolphins because the Dolphins are simple. They didn't get value for players. I'm going to say this: players stealing money, because that's all those players do that play for that team is steal money, and that's a damn shame. That's what they do. Okay, and they should have did more than what they did. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Jalen Phillips is gonna be a monster for the Eagles. And the Eagles will let him walk, you know what? Unless he wins them a Super Bowl by playing out of his mind, the Eagles will get a contemporary pick for him. A contemporary pick for him. They'll get an extra draft pick for him. So amazing what the smart teams do, right? Now the Colts. To me, Sauce Gardner is very overrated. He is the figure of the hype of the New York media. I've never been a fan of Sauce Gardner. I can tell you that right now. He doesn't do it for me. And they gave up two number ones. The Colts are going for it the next 2 years. That's what they're doing. They feel that this is the biggest chance they have to win a Super Bowl for Jim Irsay. And I kind of agree with it. I think the Colts, Pittsburgh needed that win next last week, but they did make Daniel Jones look like a pumpkin. That said, the one thing about the Colts I do love about them, I've always said this about them, they are, when healthy, both sides of the football, top four most physical football teams in the league. They got to stay healthy, and they have to keep that running back healthy. He always gets hurt. And right now, to me, he is the runaway. I don't want to hear about Josh Allen. I don't want to hear about Mahomes. I don't. You could talk about Baker and Stafford. To me, Stafford is the leader. You could say him and Jonathan Taylor, without a doubt, are the two leaders in the clubhouse for MVP. Just go look at Stafford's numbers. Come back to me. Okay. Look at his numbers and come back to me. Right? Teams, one is 7-2, the other team is 6-2, and in my opinion, the three best teams in football: the Eagles, the Rams, and the Buccaneers. And if the 49ers win on Sunday against the Rams, we're doing that game in California on Sunday, then the 49ers definitely entered the conversation as one of the four best teams in football. You know why I like those teams? I'll tell you why. Buffalo never gets there. Lamar never gets there. So who do that lead? That lead Mahomes. Or Denver. That's why Bo Nix is in the thumbnail right there. Or Denver, who I said this coming into this season will be the surprise team in the dark horse in the AFC. You know what? They win next Sunday because they're going to beat the Raiders on Thursday. They're going to beat the Raiders tomorrow night. They win next Sunday, they will have complete control of the AFC. Complete control. And with Joe Alt out for the Chargers now, it's out for the year. We'll see if Justin Herbert can stand up. You know, Herbert got a lot of fans in here. I'm not a fanboy for Herbert. I'll tell you, you know who my boy is. And I'll get to Matt LaFleur coming up. But right now, I don't know how Herbert's going to do it, folks. I mean, we're talking a run here. We're not talking about, win me a playoff game. F out of here. We're talking about a Super Bowl run. I don't think they got it. Denver has it. The Chiefs, of course. You want to put Buffalo there? Okay? But don't cry when they lose again. Okay? Don't cry when they lose again. I don't want to hear it. Okay? I don't want to hear it from the Buffalo fan. NFC, like I said, the three supreme teams are the Eagles, Buccaneers, and the Rams. And the 49ers can join that conversation for win Sunday. And this is Kyle Shanahan's best coaching job. My God, he's coaching his ass off. McCaffrey's healthy. That helps. Like Jonathan Taylor, McCaffrey being healthy helps. But you look at that Ram team. Kyron Williams, Puka Nakua, the great Devontae Adams. Wow. That is pure firepower. With a trigger man that is second to none, and he is the godfather of arm talent. It's Matthew Stafford. Oh, good God. Arm talent, love him. Mahomes, Rodgers. These are guys, and I'm going to get to him in a second because news came out of Arizona that they're going to go the rest of the way with Jacoby Brissett. I'm going to tell you why they're going to do that in Arizona. Two reasons. One, he's much taller than Kyler Murray. Number two, Marvin Harrison likes playing with him, and the offense moves better with him. And he's a 10-year veteran. So Jacoby Brissett will start the rest of the season. Kyler Murray on the bench in Arizona. And I can tell you right now, there are going to be teams like the Saints, Cleveland, the Jets. They're going to be calling about Kyler Murray. I can tell you that right now. Kyler Murray will find a starter's job. The Raiders. Okay? He's going to find a job as a starter in the NFL. Or he can go back to baseball. He was the number 9 pick in the draft back in 2018 by the A's. He can go back and play baseball if he wanted to. So it'd be interesting. Arizona the rest of the way. Speaking of rest of the way, Tampa Bay schedule. Let's do it. Let's do it all together, gang. Let's do the Buccaneers. Right? This is the Buccaneers schedule after week 12. And we'll do that game that Sunday night against the Rams. This is the Buccaneers schedule. Let me find it. Let me find it. Let me get it. This is the Buccaneers from week 13 on. Listen to this. You know, that's why I don't listen to the media, because the media hands out gifts before shit even happens. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I never pay attention to the media, because they pick their favorites and they stick with them, even though Jokic last year, they have robbed Jokic twice now. SGA is a hell of a player. Don't get me wrong, but you see the numbers Jokic put up last year? And then a couple of years ago when that bitch-ass Cameroon, what's his face, Embiid bitch for it. They gave it to him. And then have we seen that piece of shit since? Okay. What's up, Dad Boy?
What's going on, Mace?
I'm good. This is the Buccaneers schedule, folks, beginning week 13. Home for Arizona. Home for the Saints. Home for the Falcons. At Carolina. At the Dolphins. Home for Carolina. They got a similar schedule to the Cowboys. The difference is they have a layup for the last 6 games of the year. I will guarantee you one more Falcon loss, they will win every game of these 6 games. You agree with that boy? Buccaneers? Wait till that boy gets back here.
What would you say, Mace?
I just read the Buccaneers' last 6 games.
Yeah.
Home for the Cardinals. Home for the Saints. home for the Falcons, at Carolina, at Miami, home for Carolina. You don't think the Buccaneers will win all 6 of those games?
They could.
What losing team in this schedule is going to beat them?
The one that could be a surprise, Carolina. Carolina could take one of those last 6.
How many do you give them their last tough 3 games? They have played a brutal schedule, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
New England
Absolutely.
Sunday, I'm doing that. I'm doing all 3. New England this Sunday, at Buffalo next Sunday, at the Rams after that.
Yeah.
And then, in my opinion, they're home free.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely think Carolina, man. I think it's time to stop overlooking Carolina. They're a decent football team.
I never said they was. I said they were.
Okay.
I said before the season.
Uh-huh.
I
You
said
did.
the Bears in Carolina will be very improved. And I said the Patriots will be the most improved team in the league.
Absolutely. I remember that.
And Manzano still is in disbelief that the Patriots are 10 times better than sorry ass Dolphins.
It's the Rabel effect.
Let me ask you this. Do you give Buffalo? Are you tired of seeing Buffalo always lose, or you're giving them one more chance?
I'm giving them as many chances as Josh Allen needs.
Really?
Yeah. He's got to break through one of these years.
Can you say the same for Lamar? He hasn't broken through either.
He hasn't. I would say the same for Lamar. The Baltimore just got to get out of their own way. Like the Bills are finally out of their own way.
You
Baltimore
believe that?
isn't. I really do.
What would you say if they lose in the playoffs again? The Bills, I'm talking about.
That I was completely wrong.
And would you take Buffalo as a franchise seriously ever again?
I would try to.
By the
But
way, I'm wearing
beating the Chiefs goes a long way though.
But they always beat them in the regular season. They never beat them in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
He's 2-0 against Lamar in the playoffs.
Especially now with Cook running as hard as he is, I don't think that a lot of AFC teams can beat them. Denver.
Okay. I'll tell you, the Patriots, I'm looking at their schedule, man. After Tampa, their next tough game is week 15, home for Buffalo.
And that's what's scary. The Patriots can beat them. And that's in division.
Yeah, they're already beaten in Buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I always say, right, to all the Miami fans, right? You know my saying, right?
What's that?
You had Buffalo and Miami had 6 years to get to a Super Bowl. Both of them flopped, and the Patriots are back now. I'm gonna tell you another team. I'm gonna ask you this: you feel Dallas won the trade deadline?
No.
Who you think won?
Indianapolis.
Boy, you like him. I think he is very overrated.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner, yes. I think he's a product of the New York media hype.
Okay.
He dates a local. He was dating a local girl from my old neighborhood I grew up in.
I see. Yeah.
Ice Spice, I think her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's from my old neighborhood.
A lot of love for Icy, man. She's beautiful.
I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not saying she's ugly. I leave her alone because she's a young girl to me. I don't pay that no attention. I just know that she still lives here, hangs here, and she eats at one of the local family restaurants in my old neighborhood, which is pretty cool. She still eats there. So this guy took her there when she was seeing the basketball play. The guy used to play for the Warriors. He just got traded from the Wizards.
Wiggy.
No, not Wiggins. The other guy. The guy who had a big year a couple years ago, light skinned dude. The dude who
Oh,
Draymond.
you talking about Jordan Poole?
Yes, he was with
Yeah,
him over there, bro.
yeah,
Yeah, he took her there to that spot. Great chicken wings, by the way. Oh my god, great chicken wings and ribs in that joint and burgers. My nephews love going there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But getting back to the football, we are saying, about him. So I think to me, if you want me to be honest, I think Dallas was the big winner because Dallas will get the highest of the Jets picks. You know what that means, right?
yeah.
Crazy. I
Yeah.
think the
20.
Jets
The Jets will have 3 first-round picks in 2027.
in 2026 they'll have 5.
First rounders.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This goes to show you, right? When you draft well, you get plenty in return. The problem is the guy who drafted these players. I would like him to be the next Dolphin GM, Joe
Yeah.
Douglas, because the owner hated Salah so much, he fired him too.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how motivated Gardner is because he's playing on in my opinion, uh, uh, AFC contender. I'll just leave the Colts at that. They're not a Super Bowl contender yet.
Not yet.
No,
Sauce could go a long way in determining that, though.
I totally agree. If he comes to play,
Absolutely.
just with that boy, I'm wearing my Blackhawks jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, my mother was watching the game last night. She was not happy. Who they play? Seattle. Yeah, she wasn't happy about that. She called me this morning, told me they lost again. So, yeah, but back to the football. All right, we halfway through the year. Which team you think is the best team right now playing, in your opinion?
The best team.
No, like with your own eyes, who you think to you is the most impressive team you have seen?
In the NFC, you said?
No, in the whole league.
Okay, the whole league.
Yeah.
That's a hard question, Mace, because I like so many teams right now.
No, you can name a number of teams. Doesn't bother me. I'm just chilling up here with you.
Okay. I love the Bucks.
Okay.
Oddly enough, I love Minnesota. Oddly enough.
Really?
Really.
That was the message they sent the Lions on Sunday.
I love the Rams.
That's who I like. That's who I like.
See, the NFC East is so down right now. I'm not loving any team from the NFC East.
Well, you know what I think about the Eagles, bro. I said the last time they played, they were going to pistol whip the Giants, and they did. When they come to play, come to play. When they don't, they sleepwalk. I've never seen an N.F.L team do that.
Yeah.
Like Saquon said, we know how to win championships. Everybody else don't. See, Eagles have no respect for the Chiefs because they know they was cheated the first time they played the Super Bowl against them, and ever since they've beaten them 3 times in a row, including last year's Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
So they don't respect the Chiefs. They're like your team. The Bengals don't respect the Chiefs.
Absolutely. As far as the AFC, man, Denver, I love Denver.
Yeah, I do too.
That's coming out of the AFC.
I picked them. I picked them as my sleeper before the season started. My dark horse.
I didn't think Knicks would become as accurate as he is. Like he's been walking it to him for weeks now.
Yeah, I think that Giant game really put him in another level. He did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Outside of Sutton, I thought Sutton was the only weapon, but no, you got this Williams guy, Harvey, another Oregon wide receiver that used to be Bo's teammate in Oregon. Like he's catching touchdowns.
He
Like
was trying. They was trying to get Jalen Waddle yesterday, but the Dolphins were asking too much. They was
I
willing to
bet they
give him
were.
3 and 4. Yeah, you know how the Dolphins are. They overvalue their players, and now they realize their players are shit. You know why? Look what the Jets got for their 2 guys.
Uh,
I've been saying this up here since I started. Dolphins don't have any players, and it's other than Brooks and the lineman Paul. Any player that I pay attention to. I'm not joking about that.
really, he
I'm
including
dead.
Waddle.
I don't like Waddle. I never did. I never did.
Okay.
Give me a quick second. I never liked Waddle. Yo, that boy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. We talk about Bo Nix. Yeah, Broncos. I'm not surprised with the Broncos, man. I'm really not.
Yeah.
You know, because one thing they have, which uh, other teams should have,
Uh,
it's a hell of an offensive mind. That's why Bo Nix is flourishing. Just give me one more second.
right.
Yeah, that. Sorry about that. I was gonna say, yeah, I like Denver. I think Denver is ready to. It's gonna be tough for the Chiefs this year, and Buffalo, and they owe
Absolutely.
Buffalo a ass whooping for that playoff game last year, Broncos.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Sean Payton is very, very petty. So
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, but John Payton makes all the difference in the world for Bo Nix, and I think it was you who was saying it the other night when we was up here that he goes back and forth with Peyton. He doesn't care what Peyton says, and he doesn't like Peyton getting loud with him. Yeah, you're right about
right,
that.
right. Well, which is a whole different relationship we had with Drew. Him and Drew was simpatico. Like him and Bo be having it out though. They like they be getting into it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
And
you're
I
right.
like it though. I like it. Because most young quarterbacks will be scared of Sean Payton.
Of course, yeah, because he has status quo over everybody else. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm happy to
Yeah,
see he's not folding under that pressure. And everything that is quarterback in Denver, the legacy. But he's not folding under none of that pressure. I like to see it.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that, bro. You know, to me, I'm gonna see Denver. See, I have to see a team for the whole game for me to judge. So I'll see Denver for the first time next Sunday
Okay.
against Kansas City. Um, I gotta go with the Buccaneers and the Rams and the Eagles. I think they're clearly the three best teams in the AFC. Until they got their ass whipped on Sunday, I would have said the Colts, but I saw the game and Tomlin. This was one of his better coach games. That defense made uh, Daniel Jones look like a pumpkin, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Yeah. They pumped him for sure.
Yeah, they punked his ass on Sunday. It looked like the Daniel Jones that Iman tried to brag about when we saw him doing this.
He'll
I
be
don't
back
know.
to New York Daddy and shit, for sure.
That's why I said about Daniel Jones, and me and Itis was talking about that. I said, I know I'm not stupid. I know Jonathan Taylor um, is the reason why he's healthy. Him and Quentin Martin is healthy.
Right.
The Colts always get banged up, and I always said if they stay healthy,
Right.
they will make a run in the AFC because to me they're the only team in the AFC both sides of the ball is physical.
Right.
They
And
built
you
that
got it.
team the right way.
And it's thoroughly understood now that you got to keep Daniel Jones on a pitch count.
Yeah,
You can't have him throwing 40 times a game.
Buffalo. What I don't like about them, bro, their defense sucks, bro. They're the type of defense now that let's say your team like your team healthy, even with Flacco, you're gonna
Right.
put 30. The Bengals will put 34 points on Buffalo's defense. I'm not joking.
Right.
See, the right reason why the Chiefs lost was what Buffalo did, which was the right thing. They rushed eight and put seven in the back. They rushed their pass rushes, and everybody else played zone defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I met my nephew, that boy, with me. Yeah, bro. That Buffalo can be. That's why New England beat them. Cause New England beat them up both sides of the ball that Sunday night game. And Drake May is no joke.
He isn't, man. He's coming on too, man.
Yeah, man. So this year in the league, um, you know, there's some teams that have stood out, and then let me put it this way: the NFC, in my opinion, is the usual suspects. And like I said, those three teams are clearly the best teams in that conference. Now, I'm doing the late game Sunday, the 4:30 game. If San Francisco beat the Rams, you have to put San Francisco in that mix. I do not put the NFC North in that mix. You know why? Look who they're playing this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing the AFC North, and they're getting healthier, and they're playing the NFC East. And I do count Dallas now that they made the moves they made. Vikings, Lions have to play the Cowboys in next couple of weeks.
Right.
And the Eagles. And the Eagles. Eagles Lions next Sunday night in Philly.
It'll be a good game.
Yeah. So to me, and Detroit got to go to the Rams week 15. So to me, like I said, when I look at these teams that the NFC North, I didn't take seriously this year because they're playing real competition this year.
Right.
Pittsburgh, they got to play Pittsburgh too, or Detroit.
Okay.
They got
And
to play. Yeah, go ahead.
I really don't know what's going on with Stafford, man. He's got the cleanest jersey in the league. That's number one.
He's my MVP in the clubhouse right now. 21
Really.
touchdowns, 2 picks.
Over Baker.
Yeah, but Baker, like I said, they're going to play in 2 weeks on Sunday night. I'm doing that game up here. They're going to play each other.
That's the game I can't wait for.
Exactly. I can't wait for next Sunday with Denver and the Chiefs. And Buffalo, Tampa
Yeah.
Bay. I'm doing that game up here next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa go to Buffalo.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a game.
Now the season is getting fascinating because now the top teams in both leagues are going to play each other at the right time. What do you think about Thanksgiving, bro? Packers, Lions, Chiefs at the Cowboys, and the Ravens, and your team, Thanksgiving. That's the night game.
Uh, I really wish the Bengals would have played on Thanksgiving this year. I've been begging for a Thanksgiving game for years now. And this is the wrong year.
They're off this week, ain't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they got a bye.
Yeah, so they can get it back together. Remember, he's coming back in December, your quarterback. If they can save face for a couple more weeks without him, they can make a run at one of those wild card spots in AFC. Yeah.
It's just always some
I do buy it.
insurmountable shit every year with this team. That's why I can't stand the Bengals.
I know
They
they
put
piss you off.
themselves behind the eight ball and then do it somehow. It's like can't ever be a front runner. Just saying. My bad, Mace.
No, you can keep it. Go ahead, vent. Vent for a couple of seconds.
That's all. I landed it. I landed it. That's
And your
all I have
flight,
to say.
Tariq Nasheed, you're going to land your flight.
I landed it.
I don't blame you for venting, though. Melina's in the chat. I said hello to the beautiful one.
What's going on, Melina?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yeah, man. You know, yeah, this season's about to get fascinating now, beginning with New England at Tampa Bay on Sunday and the Rams and the 49ers on Sunday. I don't know how the 49ers took over. I got to tell this guy next time he's here. Just give me another second.
Yep.
Yeah, that it's incredible, bro. You know, you pumped up for the rest of the season, or you're down on the Bengals?
I mean, as soon as Joe went down, I figured that was the end of the season. So I'm watching other teams play.
You're like me every Sunday for the last, I'm gonna say, wow, probably the last 22 years with the Dolphins. I watch everybody else play. Melina said, "What's up to you in the chat?" I watch everybody else play. I'm
What's going
faithful.
on, Melina?
You know, I got so many Dolphin jerseys. You know what that tells me? That
All right.
I was a serious fanboy back in the day.
Uh,
Yeah, man.
and they could be again with Greer gone.
I
How do
don't
you
think
truly
there is
feel
the
about
problem, man. It's the owner. He's the problem. Ross is the problem. He makes bad choices for coaches. He loves yes men. If he can get Joe Douglas, who used to do the Jets, who used to run the Jets, I'll be happy because at least I've seen that man build that team. You know, the owner just didn't like. He didn't like Robert Sala. He should have never hired him. Yesterday game was awesome. It was nice to see Giannis, Miles, Turner up close. Oh, that's right. Melina went to the Raptors Bucks game last night.
it? Funny thing is, Robert Sala gave him credibility though.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Folks, you know I'll be back tonight for giving out the game balls. A tradition in here. You're gonna join me tonight, Dad?
Absolutely.
And I'll be on 8:15, everybody, because I may come on earlier now. I may come back on an hour early. So, Dad, you the best, man.
Absolutely, man. You too, man.
I'll see you in see. I may see you in 90 minutes, bro.
All right.
All right, man. I'll be back on. You know the aftermath thumbnail's already up and everything.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'll see you then. Everybody, thanks. Appreciate you. And I'll see you in 90 minutes or in 2.5 hours. Have a great evening. Get home safely. Afternoon, everybody. Yeah, see you for the NBA. Yeah, I may be doing some NBA tonight, but good night, good evening, everybody. Get home safely for the plantation. Melina, I'll see you later, love.